Dr. Surgeon, the people's doctor.
The people's doctor. Let's remember that. We're gonna jump right into this. It's a little later than we normally want to get this done, so our apologies for that. Let's listen to Young John. Just put it right down here.
Young John wasn't having it.
Well, you say
The
that.
children are not
You
the
say
issue.
that. Don't just make it seem like I'm a bad person. Don't make some
I'm not.
some
I'm
fucked
just
up
saying.
individual. What you're not gonna do is do that.
I didn't say that.
But that's how you put it. You said you want my son to be like me.
I wouldn't want them to do some of the things that you have
Okay.
done.
And I wouldn't want my daughter to do some of the things you've done. You're human.
But
That's
you
what
would
I'm
want
trying
them
to
to
say.
do majority of the things that I've done.
Listen, what I'm saying is, when you talk about me, don't sum
Say facts, right?
don't sum me up on the worst side of me or what you consider the worst side of me. Because ain't
Okay.
nobody fucking perfect. So
Okay.
don't do that. That's what we're
Okay.
not gonna do. Because as a man, guess what? I got to stand on mine too.
Yes, you do.
Guess what? Let me say something. I didn't go to college. Guess what? I want my kids to go to college. So we can say that right now. I don't want them to go that direction. I want them to go to college. I can say that with you too.
Right.
But don't sit here in front of the world, in front of a medium, and say, "Oh, I wouldn't want my son or your sons to be like you." Hold on. No,
necessarily
you put
be
some
like
respect
you.
on my name. Because at the end of the
put some
day, I'm
respect on your
successful.
name, but
I take care of my kids.
Okay.
Ain't none of my kids out here in dire need of love and support. So
Okay.
we gonna do that, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't appreciate that. Because there's some things about you that I could say I don't want my daughters to do.
Go ahead.
I'm not
Tell
gonna do
me.
that. I respect you and I love you enough.
I want this magazine to know
I
what it
respect
is
the
about me. You
integrity.
don't want your
I'm
daughters
not gonna
to
do
be
that.
like. You
I'm
should.
not gonna do that.
Be my guest.
I'm not
gonna
do
be
that.
slighted, honey.
I'm not
There's
gonna
a
do
current
that.
right?
That's where we have
They're
to
married
draw the line.
legally.
'Cause I don't
Legally
care
married
what's
right
coming
now.
from
I'm
me.
giving you
Yeah.
the
Or somebody asking me questions.
Yo, that's disrespectful. You have to think about it. You know, a woman, you pick the guy that you want to be with, and then to turn around and then proclaim that you don't want the kids to be like the dad. Matter of fact, I think it's really actually backwards a lot, because we have a lot of our women, they want to have a child for having a child's sake, and
They want to have a
even-
what? Because of motorcycles. Say it again.
they want to have a child for having a child's sake. Like they want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. And we've, over the past, generation or two, we've gotten used to this idea where, a lot of our ladies just kind of want to have a child.
Right.
But it wasn't like that before. Before, you were so much into that man that you were with, you wanted to expand his world. So you were having a child to be an extension of him. So to get to this point where this woman have your child and then turn you in your face, but not even like private conversation, expand to the world that I wish the kids are not like. So it's good that he checked it. It was good for him.
Let's continue.
Oh, it's more.
There's more.
Wow.
Or somebody asking you questions.
Let's move this
I'm not
to.
gonna reveal everything that go on with me. Just like right now, you gonna sit in front of these
Stay
people
right
tell
there,
them your
Doctor.
credit score. You gonna sit here and tell them your social security number. You ain't gonna sit here and tell them what's in your bank account either.
I won't.
Okay, so some things are better left fucking unsaid and in the private, and that's what I'm gonna do. So when you addressing me, don't ever make it seem like I'm the worst of the worst, cause I'm not.
Okay.
Cause I came through and changed your life, and it wasn't about me having no money. It was about the integrity. It was about my integrity. It was about me standing up for you. It was about me helping you open your eyes to see things that no other man has gotten you to do. So when you talk about me and address me, please be mindful of that, because I love you for who you are, good and bad.
You know I love you for who you are.
But I would never say to the world that I wouldn't want my daughters to be like you, because then it makes me question, why are you with me?
I'm not with you for the bad things. I'm not with you for having outside
Well, just
children.
don't ever say that again, please.
Okay, well, you asked me.
You got it in this interview. Don't let me hear you say that again.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
I'm sorry. You can carry
All
on.
right.
She just say I'm sorry though.
No, well, you know what? At least she came that far. But throughout that whole little segment, she was trying to jump in and trying to still cut off what he's saying.
Did you hear at the end when she said, "Yeah, but you did have babies on me, right?" So he's had, obviously
But
he's
then
had
he
other
stepped out,
children.
he
He
stepped
stepped
out.
out, and he's had other children. So that's still on her mind. It's like she can't let it go.
First of all right, all right, this is what I'm hearing from this. I see that young Jack seems to be checking his wife, but he seemed to be checking her for what he doesn't know and we don't know. It seems like young Jack is trying to check her for insulting him or belittling him.
Yeah.
But she's saying something that he'd probably agree with because young I don't know if I'm surmising or he came up, he had a bad childhood, he did some crimes, he did some negative things, he ran with the wrong crowd, and the young Jack he's kind of acting like the woman here because he's acting he's just hearing something and he's taking it as a slight. He's hearing that she's saying, I don't want the kids to be like you. He would say the same thing about his kids. He doesn't want his kids to. I don't know Young Jack's past, so I'm not going to assume. I was just going to start doling out rapper stereotypes, selling drugs, being in gangs.
Oh, so you don't know any of this?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Okay.
All I know is from all I got from that is that he didn't graduate high school. Is that what he said? He said.
Could have.
I heard that's the only thing. That's the only thing that he said.
College. I think.
That's the only thing.
College.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I heard Young Jack confirm. But I know Young Jack to have multiple babies' mothers. He has 10 kids from I
don't know.
A gang of different women. I seen a season of Love and Hip Hop. So Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, Young Jack is. Y'all know what Love and Hip Hop is. If y'all don't know, it's a show with washed up rappers who are kind of.
Why do you have to say washed up?
Oh, I'm
rappers?
sorry. Washed up is a little inflammatory. It's combative. I'm not. I'm not trying to play the rap. Washed up is a strong word.
But it's okay. It's okay to say washed
rappers
up.
Rappers are getting
to say washed up. I just was, I just wonder if
I'm not changing because I'm changing because I agree with. I understand because.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
You can't say Jock is acting like the woman, and then when you go to describe him, you're talking about how everybody around him is washed up.
No, wait, what you mean by that? Wait.
it would to me come across like Ulrich is now speaking a little bit in the sassiness. You're adding spice to it right now.
I didn't know how else to be honest. I had no idea how to describe Love and Hip Hop. I don't even know any
You started to talk spicy.
Yeah, I understand. I follow what you said. I'm not assassinating rap. There's no hostility. I don't think I have no issue with anybody on Love and Hip Hop. They're cool. With
but I also want to say this. I agree with you. 100%. Anytime a man has to tell a woman, as a man, if you have to use that word as a man, you're not coming from a man place.
Yes.
Right.
Even though we have to understand cadence and rhythm. We got a lot of rhythm with us.
Men, you mean?
Black people. Mm-hmm. We got rhythm. He's gonna draw you in and get you to believe in it. Yeah. You're right. But bro, why are you in any way, shape, or form having to explain this to this woman? When's the last time you saw her? A month ago? It's like that. It looked like there was a lot of tension. They might not even be living together. They might even be friends. They're getting together for these shows. You never, ever tell a man, as a man, ... You don't do that. A man doesn't do that. He's coming from a very feminine point of view. I agree with you 100%.
So from this, go ahead.
And I do feel all right. So I got to admit, I did see when he was on Love and Hip Hop with this lady. All right.
Okay. And so you've seen all the seasons.
No, I have not seen it. No, I'm not. Time out. You're gonna absolutely misconstrue this. All right. To be honest, I'm almost mortified to admit that I have an idea of what their situation is.
It caught your attention.
All right.
Well, it was because he was in that relationship.
I was in a relationship.
He was. I'm not making excuses for him, but this is why.
I wasn't sitting
exposed to.
I wasn't sitting like, oh, I can't wait to Love and Hip Hop come out.
But it was a one bedroom in Brooklyn. It's right
what
there.
Cassidy is doing now, or somebody is doing. Anyway, so all right, so a little bit of their dynamic. She's a lawyer right? He's a rapper. He's a rapper, but he's really self-deprecating about his like intelligence and things like that. So
what does that mean? Self-deprecating.
He's really he really he is down on himself. He insults him. He kind of like puts himself down as a way to like, oh, you know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shit. He doesn't speak like that. But he speaks like
self-deprecating is part of his character.
Yeah, and he constantly does that in terms of his intelligence, and he constantly props her up because of her intelligence, her having to be a lawyer and things like that.
Right.
So I think a little bit.
I think we're gonna have to start doing reviews of this show. That would be a good thing. You know, we do some reviews. We need a producer.
I don't want to go down to Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, you see, this is the thing, though. You see, Love and Hip Hop, you're beating Love and Hip Hop down. Love and Hip Hop, dude. This place has launched the careers of
so many
countless people. The people behind the scenes, the people that are holding the microphones, the people that are driving the Ubers and the cars. We're talking about this is a huge generating money machine. Us talking about a huge money machine is never a bad thing.
It's funny. I have the most apprehension and I have the most information about this.
Yeah. Love and Hip Hop was like the prototype. For everybody to see, that was a prototype to social media. So everybody could feel like, oh, this is just a regular person showing their life, because that's what they're doing.
Right.
You're caught into watching a person kind of live their life. So then folks see how they do it, and this is what we see on social media. Everybody's trying to.
Yeah, but but Love and Hip Hop, I will say, Love and Hip Hop's a little like next level. First of all, they're always having dinners for some reason. They're always eating out, and then something always happens at the dinner. It's like almost. I see it more like Real Housewives. Not that I've watched Real Housewives. Also, I've just been in multiple relationships. Okay. Real Housewives are the same. They're always eating out.
So you're saying you had a previous relationship where that person watched?
No, this person loved Real Housewives more than Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop was secondary to Real Housewives. Real Housewives was her shit.
Yeah.
Real Housewives was
Nene Leakes, who I referenced her book. I read her book, Nene Leakes. I remember those times. You know, that was really great, and it was good for the times. And then we've learned from that. I would like to believe, but there's a lot of money out there. People are into these relationship shows. People are into watching others' lives because you know their lives are a little mundane. Right. A little melancholy. They have to get up and go to work, but they get to see you eat those dinners in places that they know that they can go. And they're going to make plans to go too because they want to live like you. And they can't afford it. No one, even the people that are there being filmed, barely can afford it. At least in the beginning.
Now, have either of you been forced into any of these goofy shows? For anything?
No.
Not even by periphery? Come on, that makes
No, of course. I used to actually like the shows. When that first season of Jersey Wives.
Mob Wives.
Not Mob Wives. Was it Mob? No, it was New Jersey Wives. Mob Wives came after that. I didn't mess with Mob Wives. I already woke up by that time.
It's a Jersey Wives thing.
It was the Real House of New Jersey. That was where the chick picked up the table and she threw the table and they wanted to go to jail and husband and wife went to jail and all this stuff. And then, the doctor didn't know nothing about this. I remember we would be on the phone and he would be like kind of upset with his woman, like, why are you watching people live like this? This is weird. And I was like the same way. But at first I did the whole Real Housewives of Atlanta. I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of cool. No big deal, but it was very soon right after that. It was just like The Amazing Race. I used to watch The Amazing Race season after season.
I saw that.
And then I woke up to The Amazing Race and what's really going on here. And I kind of like had to let that go. So that's a story for another day. But the young jock thing, he's definitely coming from a feminine point of view. You know, if you were the man that you say you are, you would what's called command the life you want from the women and the wife you have, opposed to try to demand it. You know, you're running around yelling and screaming, demanding things.
It's not
believable. It's not believable. You
like
have to make it believable.
It's like it's a soup, and it's like one of those ingredients that should have been cooked into the soup and marinated in the soup so that this type of stuff never even occur. But the fact
reduction and all that.
The fact that it did occur, I think it's good that he didn't let it slide.
You know? On camera, I would have said we were having this. We're gonna have a conversation when we get home.
Yeah, he could have just said, "Listen, don't talk like that." And he could have said, "Listen, what she just said, let's gonna go back. We'll talk about that later. But the last 30 seconds, let's take that out. They'll give him that power to do that, you know?
Yeah. No, that could be good, but maybe he wanted to check it like that. Maybe he wanted to.
Which is
maybe it was
more
in his check.
feminine.
Yeah,
Which is more
exactly.
feminine.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
he
100%. Because
wanted
he's
that
trying to
conversation.
show. He's trying to say, "Oh, I'm not gonna be
Let you do
assaulted.
that.
I'm gonna show her."
Right,
That's very feminine behavior. That's overcompensating.
Yeah.
But you know what? I appreciate it simply because I think him doing it that way. We have so much stuff going on out now that's referencing this type of stuff with the male-female relationships and things like that. So I appreciate that he did that and then handed it the other way. But y'all correct in that you should never get to that point where this is what you have to kind of like say. If you happen to do that, that means you picked wrong to begin with.
And you know, sometimes you have to remind someone. I've had situations where I had to remind my wife about like, whoa. You know, she's a stay-at-home mom. Okay? You're living the life that every woman wish they could live. I mean, that's what Kevin Samuels showed us.
That's facts. I mean, a big piece about that we don't recognize is the fact that there's a comfort level that's built in when you're kind of in a relationship. And no matter what you've done, kind of like goes by the side. And it's kind of like forgotten. So he actually pulled a curtail like, hey, listen, I changed your life and made you see things that you ain't never seen before.
Right.
And maybe you have different viewpoints you never. So it's like those type of things.
You have to
And
check
do have
her
to-
a little bit. I respected that. You know, you gotta check her because a lot of times you think that it should be like you gotta remind the person sometimes that I was there with the washcloth in the morning on your face, getting you up to that meeting. Now you got a bunch of meetings and an assistant and a publicist. Now you brand new. You think you could just say whatever you want out your mouth? So there's a lot of
It's a
stuff
little bit of
happens
that.
between
You
that.
could
You know.
see a little bit of that in there. You could see a
Right.
little bit in that, and she kind of like filling that space.
Right.
So
Well, do we go to the next topic, or do we just like stop it and start all over? What are you thinking?
Maybe we can stop it for now because we got to reload stuff. We got to open up another thing.
I think you got a point there.
I think somebody wants a beer. We'll be right back.
You might be right about that too.
Just talking about that photo.